It is my great honor to welcome you all to Spain to the FTTH Council's annual conference. As the host country for this year's event, let me thank the FTTH Council for the excellent organization and, of course, for the invitation to the Spanish administration to participate in the event. We are really thrilled to have so many experts from the field of fiber to the home technology here with us for these three days. Spain has always been a pioneer when it comes to technology and innovation. And we are proud to say that this is reflected in our country's impressive track record in the deployment of FTTH technology. In recent years, Spain has consistently ranked among the top countries in the world in boosting FTTH technology. According to the OECD broadband statistics update, as you can see in the slide, in the chart that is being presented, Spain is currently the third country in the OECD group of countries with the highest rate of fiber broadband subscriptions, reaching 81% and only being behind Japan and Korea, which I think it's really impressive. The graphic also reflects the low penetration in Spain of legacy technologies such as DSL, cable, showing that final consumer in Spain easily choose FTTH when available. In this way, as end users are migrating to new generation networks, the incumbent operator in our country has recently announced, probably as the first incumbent operator in Europe, being the first one in Europe, switching off the legacy copper network in 2024. By the end of next year, probably Telefónica will switch off its current copper network, which is especially important in a context of cost inflation, efficiency, and environmental sustainability. Spain has also the second highest rate in the EU in FTTH deployment. We are the third in the total fixed broadband connectivity, but the second in FTTH, according to the DESI report in 2022. DESI report reflects that on digital connectivity is one of the top EU performers. And we will continue to develop this situation and rolling out very high capacity network in the coming years. Of course, with the help of the private investments of the operators in Spain, fully committed with FTTH rollout, and from the administration doing our best, helping operators in this objective. This slide reflects the current FTTH coverage in Spain, reaching almost 90% of total population, and 73% in rural areas. This data has been presented 2 or 3 weeks ago. The broadband coverage report that my Secretary of State performs every year, which shows data from June 2022. So the situation is pretty good, as Eric and Vincent has highlighted before in Spain. The rapid growth of FTTH in Spain is a testament of the hard work and dedication of the administration and industry leaders who have recognized the importance of investing in this cutting-edge infrastructure. By prioritizing FTTH deployment, we have been able to create a robust and reliable network that has transformed the way that the Spanish people communicate, work, and learn, and has been especially important during the pandemic. From the administrative perspective, we have used all the tools at our disposal, that is planification, public aids, and build a proper legislative framework to help fiber and network in general rollouts. We have been long time working very hard on implementing the plan for connectivity and digital infrastructure, which is included in the digitization roadmap in our country, España Digital 2026, fully aligned with the European digital strategy. Spain has created a solid legal framework thanks to the General Telecommunication Law approved in 2014, and that has been recently updated as a consequence of the transposition of the European Telecommunications Code in 2022, but main characteristics have been in place for almost 10 years, with almost no significant political controversy. This legal framework has permitted the entrance of new companies to compete in the market and increase the level of competition, has simplified the administrative burdens for network rollouts, and has established also obligations to the existing infrastructure and to share it when possible and when operators come to agreements. Our national legislation will be in the future fully aligned with the Gigabit legislation, Infrastructure Act, that has also been mentioned before, that the European Commission is now developing and that will be approved in the coming months. And that is a regulation that will put forward new rules to enable faster, cheaper, and more effective rollout of gigabit networks. And finally, we have used public aids, which are playing a key role also to increase coverage in those areas not reached by private investment. According to a recent report of the CNMC, the Spanish National Regulatory Authority, those municipalities benefited from public aids to deploy fiber, have improved the rates of usage in fiber in 10%, especially in municipalities below 10,000 inhabitants. So the impact of public aids in these rural areas, in these small populated areas, is very relevant and also important. Spain has invested 1.2 billion American billion of euros in public aids to deploy fiber to technology since 2013, so in the last 10 years. Financed by the Spanish Recovery and Resilience plans, but also with other investment plans such as PEVA or other sources of financing coming also from the EU. Thanks to the implementation of all these instruments, Spain has reduced the digital divide of ultra-fast coverage between urban and rural areas. The difference of coverage in FTTH or in broadband currently in 2022, the difference between urban and rural areas is 18 percentage points, whereas the difference in 2018 was 42 points. So the reduction of that digital divide is pretty clear. And thanks to the efforts made to deploy FTTH technology, the 1 gigabit coverage in Spain reaches 85%. This is also an amazing figure and gives information of how operators have been, let's say, generous and trying to implement the most reliable and scalable technologies in their rollouts. And 64% coverage in rural areas at 1 gigabit per second coverage. But our work is far from being done. We recognize that there is still much to be done to ensure that all communities, regardless of geographical location or socio-economic status, have access to this vital technology. That is why we remain committed, continuing to invest in FTTH infrastructure and working with industry partners to make high-speed internet accessible to everyone. The goals of the digital decades are pretty clear and are still challenging. The goals are to cover 100% of population with 100 megabits per second in 2025, that we are very close to get there, but the most challenging one is 100% of coverage at 1 gigabit by 2030. So there's still a lot of work to do. Let me finish thanking again to the Council for the excellent organization. Over these days, we will have the opportunity to learn from all the attendees, share best practices, and explore new technologies that will shape the future of FTTH industry. I'm confident that this year's conference will be a tremendous success, and I look forward to the insights and perspectives that will be shared by all of our distinguished speakers and attendees. Thank you all for joining us here in Spain, in Madrid, and I wish you all a productive and enlightening conference.